tell us a little bit about yourself and why you chose Lumiwealth.
Sure. So I am a computer science graduate, and I am a software developer currently. I develop automations for my current company that I'm working for. And also I develop full stack applications, web apps and APIs, as well as for my company. What attracted me about Lumiwealth was I loved some of their resources available on YouTube, which told me right from the beginning like what to expect from the classes. And also, I was extremely interested to learn finance and algorithmic trading. I've been trading from a Wall Street veteran like you, Robert. I mean, you have extensive experience in leading teams into this in this particular branch of finance, and I was completely. I mean, I really wanted to be a part of that as well. I really love that there, during the classes, we'll be going to, perform like two live projects, which would give us like real hands-on experience, what we would expect in the real financial world. Uh, I mean, weekly 1 hour interactions with you and with the fellow students, I mean, that is always an added advantage that we have. Unlimited discussions and help that I got during my time, especially in the Discord channel that we had, was tremendously valuable to me. And also the opportunity to book, one-on-one time with you if I get stuck. I mean, that is something that is even more valuable, and that tremendously, attracted me to Lumiwealth. And you don't get that in other courses or any other. I mean, even if you selected a video course, you wouldn't get all these benefits. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely people love the live nature of things. So thank you for that.
Exactly.
I feel like you answered a bunch of the other questions I have,
Oh no.
which is great. It's great. Just talk freely, right? I guess another question we could ask is, how has this class helped you personally? And I think this related a lot to the project that you built out.
Correct. So, beginning, I really love the openness of the community, the fact that I can interact with anybody, and I can just hop onto a call with anybody that I want. I mean, there was a fellow student with me, a game that I reached out to at the very beginning of the course itself, just to understand what trading was. He is a trading veteran. I'm a developer. So we just interacted extremely freely. We screen shared. He went through some of the trading algorithms that he has. I went through some of the Python stuff that I've built out, and there was a fantastic collaboration that happened. And I love the fast-paced nature of the classes. I mean, you get to learn so many things, and of course, you need to put in 8 to 10 hours of time at least every week, at least, to get caught up, and which is something that I absolutely love, the accountability part of the course. And also you get to learn something like they don't teach you anywhere else, like CAGR and Sharp ratio and back testing, how to develop a winning trading strategy. Those are extremely invaluable part of the entire course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that. I actually didn't know that you and Agim were working so closely, which is it's awesome. I think that's
Yeah.
great that you guys developed this sort of relationship. So I
Yeah,
know
even.
Agim's algorithm is doing pretty well too, so it's awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah, even after the classes ended, I reached out to him. He said like let's set up a time and let's go through it again. So we are keeping in touch even after the classes are over. So fantastic. Yeah.
Perfect. It's exactly what we strive to accomplish. Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to hear that. Cool. So do you want to show us maybe a little bit about what you
Absolutely.
built? This
Absolutely.
this is so
Let me
I love
yeah,
this.
yeah, let me just try to share my screen, share screen, and voila. Do you guys see my screen right now?
I do not see your screen. Nope.
Oh,
Maybe
uh,
share the one desktop. There you go. Okay, now it's
oh, excellent.
perfect. Okay, now I see it.
So during the classes itself, we learned about Alpaca API and how to integrate Alpaca API into our trading algorithm, the algorithm, the trading bot that we are going to create. So what we have, so what I've done essentially is I've created something which is called, you populate some of the prices that I want to, populate throughout the day on a daily basis as well as weekly basis. And as you can see, Alpaca is one of the key features of that. And also what I've went ahead is I've developed a sort of a UI which would act as a stock screener for myself. And these stocks can be screened based on these some of the conditions that I've put in. And all of these conditions actually have some of the trading strategies attached to it. So for example, let's just open up one of the trading strategies that is very profitable to me as well, is this one, which is called an opening breakout strategy that I developed while during the course itself. So this sort of coincides with the new closing high screener that I've created. So once I do a submit, so what it does, it filters out a bunch of stock in the stock market that have broken out and given us a price breakout range. So let's just say if we look at BlackBerry BB, it's a beautiful name nowadays. As you can see, the stock has completely broken out of its chain and it's giving me a high. So what I would do is I'm going to say is I'm going to apply this opening range breakout strategy to it. So I'm going to click on apply strategy. And what it would do is it would, create another table in the database. No, not the table is already there. It's going to create an entry into the database saying BB, and it will also tell you like the strategy that we are trying to, incorporate that to. So in the morning next day, what I do is I have set up a cron job. So if you're familiar with cron tab, anybody? So you know what? Hold on. So I'm just trying to pull up terminal, and I'm just going to show how some of the cron tab stuff works. Oh, God. Just bear with me a quick second. So yeah, so this is how I set up some of the cron jobs that I have. Giving it a time and the duration that it should run for, or what weeks of day, and they all coincide with whatever the .py file that I want to. So for example, for the opening range breakout, it starts off at 9:30. So this is my first 15-minute strategy that I run against this stock. So just because it has given a breakout last night, I would expect it to give me a similar movement the following 15 minutes as well. So what it does is I'm masking the first 30 minutes, and then I am running. So what it does is it captures the symbol from the database itself. So over here, as you can see, it does select on my database and gets out the opening range breakout from here. And it picks up BlackBerry Limited, and it runs the algorithm for 1 minute ticker for the first 15 minutes. It makes a buy and it makes a sell within the first 15 minutes once it gets the particular condition that I have. So this is one of the strategies that I've coded during the class, and it has given me pretty decent returns on my trading. The other one that I have, which has also given me pretty decent return, is called a bullish engulfing strategy. So what it typically means is if we have a so let me pull up one of my, so again, most of the strategies, what it does, it sort of gives me a Slack output of what I'm looking for, like a screener or, something that moves in within the market. I would like to know in, whether it's a text or Slack, what's moving. So let's just say I have this stock AAON. So this has been flagged as a bullish engulfing stock from my trading bot that I've created. So now if I search for this, so there you go. Awesome. So now that we have this, so again, this is yesterday's data. So what bullish engulfing does is it makes sure that the current candle that we have is completely in a bullish way. It's engulfing the red candle that we had on the previous day. If that happens, we flag that particular stock as a bullish stock, and it's going to give me up move as well. So that is some of the coding that we have done over here, that I've done over here for that particular strategy as well. And once it gives me a pattern I call another py file. What it does, it places the trade in the API itself, and it also sets the the exit criteria as well. So as you can see, so this is where we set our API submit order. So I have a stop loss and I have a limit price that I let them know that this is what I'm looking for. So once that's done, the bot automatically buys and sells the stock, and it exits completely. What we also have is a backtest library that I've created during the course. So what it does is it makes buys and sells based on the strategy that you want to run against a particular stock, and it also and also the time frame that you expect that backtest to run against. So I typically set it for past 1 year because most of my strategies are intraday. And what it does essentially is it does a back test, gives us a percentage return, like how bullish or how bearish or how well would the stock perform previously. And that would help us determine how it's going to perform going forward as well. And also what we have during the class itself, one of the project was to create a momentum strategy that would let us know like how I mean within the, let's just say within the S&P 500, what stocks are in momentum right now, and would it be profitable to buy them and at this very moment of time. So I'm using an external library in over here which is called EIX APIs. So very simple. What I'm doing is I'm getting the 1 year change, a 6-month change, a 3-month change, and a 1-month change. And once I get those changes, I'm creating a data frame, and that data frame does all the calculation for myself. And also I'm creating another column in the data frame, which is called an HQM score. What that HQM score does is it adds the percentiles of both 1, 6, 3-month, and 1-month data, and gives me a cumulative score. The higher the score, the more better it is for buying that particular stock. And you give us a portfolio, and we give a portfolio size. And let's just say it has selected 10 stocks. It will divide the portfolio, the 10 million that we have within those 10 stocks, and then it will give us a nice output which says, these are the number of shares you should buy for these particular stocks. So yeah.
Well, this is amazing. I find it astounding that you've been able to create so much throughout our course. This is absolutely amazing.
No, I mean, and thanks to you and the team for providing all sorts of assistance during the entire process. I mean, I know I've bugged a lot of people in Discord and live to get a lot of the information from them. And again, the community is extremely helpful. I mean, I just can't stress enough on that. So
awesome, very happy about that. We're trying to grow this thing out now. I feel like it's gotten to the point that we need different channels now.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool. Well, thank you very much for showing that. Thank you very much. It's amazing.
Sure.
Awesome. I mean, I feel like we could spend like all day going through these things. I mean, I don't know. I love this stuff personally. I'm a huge fan of you and of this sort of work, right? So this is awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that.
Sure. And it's like a rabbit hole. Once you go in, it's so interesting. And the things that you find, the things that you have a perception of, and once you run an algorithm on, your perception completely changes when the algorithm gives you a different output, and you tend to look at things in a different way. I just loved it. I mean, when I ran the momentum strategy, I initially thought, Tesla would be the number one stock that would come up, glaringly, but it was Etsy that came up as the number one momentum strategy stock based on this. So, it's always eye-opening to have that, fantastic computer telling you what to do. I mean, it's just brilliant.
It makes sense. That's why quant hedge funds are winning the past like decade in a row, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Definitely, it's awesome. So I skipped a bunch of questions here because you already answered all of them. I guess the last one, which is almost redundant at this point, but what would you recommend Lumiwealth's classes to someone else? Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, this is my personal disclaimer. Is like I went live with this trading bot a couple of weeks ago in the first week of January. And right now I have almost made 80% of the money that I spent on the course itself back from the bot itself. So I mean the trading strategies that I learned in the class paid for the class itself. So I mean I don't think there's anything better return of investment. Apart from this, I would say the interactions, and again, learning from you, Robert, was one of the biggest advantages. Like once you with your that your depth of experience that you have, and you're sharing this with all of us, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I don't have the words to express the gratitude, but I mean it's amazing to have that kind of a person who's willing to teach other people and help them enhance their lives. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It's very nice. Very, very high praise coming from you, Santayan.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, I mean, again, I mean, our class has started at October, but I've been following you since June last year. I've spoken to Alicia as well as you, and gone through so many free courses and trainings that you've thrown at us. I mean, thoroughly impressed. Thoroughly impressed. I'm glad that I signed up and went through this.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to stop recording now.
Sure.